Welcome to Next Gen Manufacturing Nexus. Have you ever really thought about that invisible network that brings, well, literally everything to you? Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the global supply chain, and we're going to meet the engineers who orchestrate this incredible daily miracle. Okay, just look at the phone in your hand for a second. Simple enough, right? But the journey it took to get to you, it's a total epic of global coordination. It didn't just pop up in a store. A whole team of unseen experts guided it across the entire planet. That journey is the supply chain in action. So where does it all begin? Way, way back, deep in the earth. Seriously, think about it. The lithium for the battery, the aluminum for the case, every single part starts out as a raw material. That's the very first link in a chain that's going to stretch all the way around the globe. From there, those raw materials go on a massive journey, thousands of miles across oceans, to these highly specialized factories. And that's where they get transformed from, simple elements into these super complex, high-tech components that your phone needs to work. Once they're all put together, the finished phones get shipped out again, this time to these huge, strategically placed warehouses. And when I say huge, I mean some of these places are like small cities, just waiting for the final leg of their journey. And finally, through this just mind-boggling maze of ships, planes, and trucks, it lands right in your hands. That entire insane process, yep, that's the magic of supply chain engineering. All right, so who are the masterminds conducting this global ballet? Well, they're a special breed of engineers and managers, the ultimate problem solvers who keep the world's products moving. Let's meet the key players, shall we? You can kind of think of these three roles as the dream team. You've got the industrial engineer, they're the on-the-ground optimizer, making things better from the inside out. Then there's the supply chain manager, who's like the strategic commander, seeing the whole big picture. And the supplier development engineer, they're the quality guardian, making sure every single part is absolutely perfect. Different jobs, for sure, but they've all got one shared mission, a flawless, efficient supply chain. Let's start with the industrial engineer, or the IE. These folks are the detectives of the factory floor. Their whole job is to walk around, talk to the people who are actually doing the work, and hunt for bottlenecks. But they don't just guess. They use a structured process, DMAIC, and cold hard data to prove that their ideas will actually save time and money. They're the real hands-on optimizers. Okay, now the supply chain manager, think of them as sitting in mission control. Their day starts super early, scanning dashboards for any red flags, maybe a typhoon is delaying a ship or there's a customs holdup, or a sudden spike in demand. They lead these critical meetings, S&OP meetings, to make sure everyone from sales to production is on the exact same page. And when a crisis hits, and believe me, it's always when, not if, they are the ones hitting the big red button on the contingency plans to keep everything moving. Okay, so to wrangle all these massive challenges, these experts don't just, wing it. They come armed with a seriously powerful toolkit of proven methods and cutting-edge tech. Let's open it up and see what's inside. And this right here says it all. As one user on Reddit put it so perfectly, it is all about the data. In a modern supply chain, you can't just say, hey, I think this is a good idea. You have to prove it with the numbers. Cost savings, efficiency gains, risk reduction. Data is the only language that really speaks. And a huge part of that data-driven approach is this framework right here, DMAIC. Industrial engineers absolutely live by this. Define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. It's basically the scientific method, but for business. It's a cycle that makes sure improvements actually stick and aren't just some temporary fix. And of course, none of this happens without some serious software. The modern supply chain runs on this complex web of interconnected systems. You can think of the ERP as the central brain of the whole operation. The WMS and TMS are kind of like the nervous system managing all the physical movement in the warehouses and on the roads. And those advanced dashboards, they're the eyes, pulling everything together so managers can make smart decisions in a split second. So, all those tools, they're powerful, for sure. But what's coming next is a total game changer. I mean, the next generation of supply chain engineering is something straight out of science fiction. It's called the digital twin. Now, it's really important to get this. A digital twin is not just some fancy 3D model. No way. It is a living, breathing virtual replica of a real-world factory or machine or even a whole process. It's constantly fed by real-time data, so when something changes in the physical world, it changes instantly in the digital world too. So how do you actually build one? Well, you need 5 key ingredients. You've got the physical thing, the real object. You need the virtual model of it. You need the connection. That's the IoT sensors feeding it data. Then you have the data itself, all the operational, historical stuff. And finally, the analytics, the AI and machine learning that makes sense of it all. And this is what's so wild about this technology, how scalable it is. You can make a digital twin of one single screw to monitor its stress levels, or an entire machine, or an assembly line, a whole factory. You can even model your entire organization's business processes to find hidden problems you never knew you had. And right here, this is where the magic really happens. On one side, you've got the physical factory doing its thing. And on the other, you have this incredibly detailed, data-rich virtual world that mirrors it perfectly in real time. With that, you can run simulations, test out any what-if scenario you can dream up, and even predict failures before they happen in the real world, all without risking a single second of downtime. It's amazing. So it's not a one-and-done thing. It's this constant, living feedback loop. Real-time data flows from the physical world into the twin. You run your simulations and models to find ways to make things better. That insight gets communicated back, which lets you control and improve the real physical system. It's a cycle of nonstop, intelligent improvement. All right, let's zoom out. What does this all mean? We've met the people, we've learned the processes, and we've seen the absolute bleeding-edge tech that, and this is no exaggeration, makes our world go round. So here's the bottom line. That box that shows up at your door is the end result of a massive, brilliantly engineered system. It all depends on human experts, engineers who combine boots-on-the-ground problem-solving with incredibly powerful software. And that system, it's getting smarter, faster, and more predictive every single day, thanks to revolutionary tech like digital twins. Look, this isn't just about moving boxes from point A to point B anymore. Not even close. It's about engineering the very future of how things are made and delivered. The challenges are just immense, but the tools are more powerful than they have ever been. So the only real question left is, are you ready to help build it?